Hello YouTube, Al here, and this week I want to do some more mods to my Epiphone SL. So, last time I put some Alnico single coils in there, and they're really rather nice. But there's still a bit of a high crispy top end that I'm not a big fan of. So, let me show you what I mean. I'm going straight into my custom double barrel 212, no pedals, I'm going to leave all the settings as is. Maybe turn the volume up. There we go. So, if I turn the volume down halfway, the tone down a little bit, full, down a little bit, so it nips off that sort of high clacky sort of top end. Just sort of darkens it off a little bit in a nice pleasant way. Full again. Halfway. So I feel like they're a little bit sizzly on the high end, and I kind of want to thicken it up a little bit. So I'm going to try these potentiometers. They are ones out of a Schecter Nick Johnston ones, and I got them off eBay or something like that. They're both Bs, so I wasn't going to bother, but as it's so clacky, I'm going to try them both, and then if the volume or tone is the wrong taper, I'll swap them out for something else. But I've already got these lying about, so why wouldn't I use them? So yeah, I just want to thicken it up a little bit. So I'm going to replace like for like with all the wires. I probably will have to widen the holes for these a little bit. Well, that's fine, I can do that easily enough by hand. So I'm going to swap out these pots and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we're back. I put the new pots in. I'm going to do a sound test, and then at the end I'll reveal a little surprise. So here it is as is. Again, the strings are still old, so it's the same test. It's a scientific test. They're the same old horrible strings that won't quite stay in tune. I know I'm going to change them, but I wanted to do this first, just so the new strings aren't influencing any of the results. So here we go. That's middle. Oh yeah. Full disclosure, I tried to film the second part, and then I realised I'd missed a solder joint on the tone knob because I wasn't paying attention. So I went back and resoldered it, and it's fine now, so the volume was slightly higher than it was before. But anyway. The game was about halfway, sorry. Is a setup as well. You know what? I think that ever so brittle, the brittle top end is just gone. The very, very high end, it was the same capacitor, 0.22, so that's normally what you'd put with 500k pots, which normally go with humbuckers. So they let more treble through. The capacitor and the pot are both, I'm not going to say brighter because they don't have a sound, but you know what I mean, they let more high end through. So normally when you go down to 250k, you'd want to use 0.47 UF. I'm going to say UF, I can't remember if it's pico, micro, whatever farads, but it's UF, that's what it looks like to me. And I've used the 2.2 because I wanted it a little bit bright still. I didn't want to darken it too much. I'll do a test halfway again. So on the bridge pickup, everything flat out. Haha, can't get me with copyright if I play the riff wrong. Full. About halfway. Try that in the middle, why not, for a laugh? Bridge. Off, no tone. Let's go halfway. chirpiness has gone. Still needs a bit of a setup, to be honest. I put this Wilkinson wraparound bridge on because the old bridge was chewing up strings. It was so soft a metal that it just, a high E string created a burr, and that made the string snap, and I was like, can't be doing with this nonsense, so I got an aluminium Wilkinson one. Action's a bit high, it still needs a little bit of a tweak. I'm just going to do that when I change the strings, which will be very soon because these are pretty dead. Halfway. So, yeah, I mean, that's really not bad at all. I think that it, yeah, the surprise, the surprise is, the stock pots in here were 250k anyway. So, even though, yeah, I took out the little mini pots and they were labelled 250k, I swapped them anyway. To be honest, I think the difference is it's still got rid of the harshness, and I think it's to do with the tolerances, because lower end electronic parts have a kind of a wider scope of, a wider range of what the value actually is around what it's stated, rather than higher ones. So these Schecter ones are more, they look like CTS pots or Bournes or something like that. They look like proper big boy pots. So they're going to last a long time, and the tolerances should be a lot closer. So these should be closer to 500k than those other ones were. In theory, I mean, that would explain why it sounds so different, even though the value is the same and the capacitor is the same and they're wired up the same way. But I'm actually happy with it now. I think it sounds, it's still single coil, but I feel like it's, that top end clackiness has gone. Top end's definitely sort of calmed down a bit and sort of rounded off, smoothened off. So I'm a lot happy with this. There you go. It's in between a Strat and a Tele. That's my melody maker, because it is a melody maker if you look at the 60s guitars. It's the only one you can buy that isn't a Gibson, as far as I'm aware. Epiphone don't do a normal set neck version. But there you go. That's how it sounds with the new pots in. Call me crazy, but I think it sounds better. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that nonsense, and I'll see you next week. So until then, bye-bye.
Bye!